Road Sports Team presents your Southern Tier Kickoff.
Thank you once again for starting your Southern Tier Kickoff with us this Saturday morning. It is week 4 here at the WBNG desk, and we are excited for another jam-packed weekend of both college football. Plus, hey, make sure you tune in tonight at 11 for highlights. We have a 6-pack of Section 4 high school football in store for you as well. But that's not until tonight. So let's get into it and not get ahead of ourselves, and let's bring in the rest of the team here once again at the STK desk. Kyle Spizak, as always, joining us, and for the first time at the desk, Keith Savage. Gentlemen, how are we doing this morning, Kyle?
Doing pretty good. Another great day of college football. Syracuse played last night. Penn State's back today. So, you know, we had the bye week last week. Good to get the local teams back in the rotation today.
I appreciate you still saying it's a good day even after what happened with Syracuse last night.
So, rough loss.
Keith joining us for the first time here at the desk. How's it feel?
Yeah, I'm excited to get it for the first time. Talking some college football picks. But overall, a lot of good games going on today. Saw the Syracuse a little to get more into that. But I'm more excited for the first time getting this opportunity.
And we're excited to have you here as well. So, we start our morning in Happy Valley. Number 10, Penn State, playing host to the Golden Flashes of Kent State. The Nittany Lions are finishing up its non-conference schedule with a second straight opponent out of the MAC. And this one coming off of a historic loss. Kyle, what can Penn State expect this afternoon?
Yeah, and after a bye week last week, Penn State returns to Beaver Stadium to take on the Kent State Golden Flashes this afternoon at 3:30. Penn State's looking to bounce back after a nail-biter of a game against Bowling Green 2 weeks ago when the Falcons shocked the nation by leading the 8th-ranked Nittany Lions at halftime by a score of 24-20. Penn State's defense looked extremely shaky in this matchup before getting things together and only allowing 3 points in the second half. Nick Singleton led the charge for the Nittany Lions, rushing for 119 yards and 1 touchdown on 13 carries, while also picking up a touchdown through the air. Penn State head coach James Franklin says they need to be better tackling and to stick to their jobs this week.
Just keep talking.
And Coach Franklin said that really Penn State needs to get it together and finish their tackles, not finishing any tackles last week, allowing the Falcons to get out on top of Penn State right out of the gate and holding players accountable to just doing their jobs. The way to get back to just doing their jobs is in the second half. They need to build on really just finishing tackles going into week 3. And the keys for Penn State this week's matchup is first being stronger on tackles, wrapping up and making sure guys go down and don't get those extra yards. Second, the Nittany Lions need to get the offense rolling early. After a bye week last week, it'll be important to jump right out of the gate with how they played 2 weeks ago. They cannot afford to have a slow start on offense this week. Lastly, they need to be able to convert on third downs this week against Bowling Green. Penn State went 2 for 9 on third down conversions, and with Big Ten conference play right around the corner, Penn State needs to step things up and get things in motion this week.
All right, Kyle, you talked a little bit about staying cool and calm under pressure, which you did a great job there, as we lost some technical difficulties there, lost our prompter, lost our monitors. Hey, it's all right. That's what happens in live TV. So if things start going bad for Penn State this week, how do they stay composed?
They've really just got to trust their defense. I mean, they do have a really good defense, but like we said, wrapping up tackles, they just need to be able to get guys around and bring them down instead of allowing them to break those tackles, get another 10 yards. Also, have faith in their offense. Their offense is strong. Nick Singleton's one heck of a running back. You got to trust him. And Drew Aller didn't throw the ball much. Get the ball in his hands a little bit more. Let him to make those plays downfield.
All right. You know, that being said, how do you coach up tackling? I know it's something that, you know, even at the lowest level, Pop Warner, it's all about how to get wrapped around the ball. You know, how does Penn State make those adjustments this week?
You know, it's tough. You just got to make sure Kent State, you're going to beat that team by a wide margin. But the thing is, you have to make sure they don't win by too much if you're Penn State. Penn State can't give up too much to Kent State because they've been struggling overall the last few games where overall Kent State 49-point underdogs, where Penn State's been struggling overall. They haven't covered the spread one single time this entire season, so they have to really focus on getting the goal of just winning this ball game, not focus too much on winning by a wide margin.
All right, well, you mentioned the spread, so real quick, we will get into the rest of our picks later on, and as always, we do. But real quick, we'll get this one out of the way. Penn State minus 49 against Kent State. Who do you like?
I mean, Penn State will win this game, obviously. I don't think they're covering the spread, though, this week. They had that bye week, and they had a real rough outing against Bowling Green. I don't have faith in them putting up over 49 points in the margin.
All right, and how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm on the same exact note. Like I said, they haven't done it one single time this season. They haven't even scored over 34 points at all this entire year. So I don't see them winning by 49. I see it about like 35-30, but I do not see them winning by 7 touchdowns.
And as you can see, I actually disagree with that as well. I'm going to go with Penn State. I'm going to take the 49 points. Give the 49 points. I think they bounce back. I think with the bye week, they get the offense in check. So also coming off of a bye week was Syracuse, the Orange, hosting Stanford. As Stanford, with its first game in the ACC, we're going to head on over as Keith Savage has highlights from last night.
Yeah, Stanford with its first ACC game at the JMA Wireless Dome. And right away, the Cardinals just got off to a hot start. You see the fans rooting for Syracuse as they go for the first time. Stanford trying to get something, and they do. First touchdown of the game for an early 7-0 lead. Stanford, again, first time here, first ACC game. That's Kyle McCord on the run, finding Umari Hatcher. That will go all the way to bring the deficit to just 3. Then there's just a few minutes left in the fourth. Again, this team finds itself down, but McCord, they find a TD right here for a 1-point lead. All they have to do is not let the Cardinals score. And with just a few seconds remaining, it's Stanford's Emmett Kenny draining the 39-yarder to give the Orange its first loss of the year. Yeah, so Syracuse overall, Fred Brown talked about after how the team fought hard, and the loss is mainly on the coach's fault, not really on the players' fault. He was proud of his squad, but it just didn't turn out their way against brand new ACC team and Stanford. But overall, this offense for Syracuse has been rolling really good. Kyle McCord has over 3 straight games now with over 330 yards and combined 10 touchdowns now. This offense, to me, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, the offense looks really good. Like you mentioned, it's having the defense step up. You got players like Diggs that he has played good in the last couple of weeks, but missing Marlo Wax is a huge loss for Syracuse. That's really the captain of the defense. He's the guy that you run everything through. Losing him, that's going to play a big toll on your defense. But like you mentioned, Kyle McCord, I mean, the hype is real with this man in Syracuse. He's just straight balling out, and there's no other way to describe that.
Listen, I know you guys are both excited about it, but for Orange fans, I think they have to be a little bit worried. And I don't want to say it is too early to say that this is a key game in the Fran Brown era, but next week is a key game in the Fran Brown era. You have a team that is coming off of a bye, a team that was hyping up, packing the house at the Dome, and a team that was hosting an ACC for the first time, Stanford going across country to play on a Friday night. That's a game that Syracuse needs to win, and a game that Fran Brown might be upset that they did not. But stay tuned and stay with us as we have a lot more here on the Southern Tier Kickoff ahead for you, including we go live at Colgate for a Southern Tier Showdown. Don't go anywhere.